It's not a coincidence that you are here today, listening to these words. It's not by chance that, in the midst of what you feel and all that you've lived through, your heart has found this message. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer that seems not to arrive, praying and sensing that heaven is silent, as if God no longer speaks as he once did. And yet, you're still here, with a weary heart, but with a faith that refuses to fade. And that, beloved child, does not go unnoticed in heaven. Today, I want to speak to your soul, not with fleeting phrases, but with deep truths. Because trusting God does not always mean understanding everything, feeling everything, or having clarity in every step. Many times, trusting Him means standing firm when the easiest thing would be to give up. And if you are walking through that season where there seem to be no signs, listen carefully, because this message is not just mine. It is God Himself speaking to your spirit. When everything is going well, when doors open easily, when life smiles and the path is lit, trusting God feels simple. Faith doesn't seem like a challenge. It feels like the natural response to blessing. But when you see nothing, when your prayers seem to vanish into the air, when your soul grows weary and it feels like God is silent, that's where true faith begins. That is the faith that sustains heaven, the faith that moves the heart of God. There are moments in life that feel like walking through a thick fog. You can't see the road, you don't know what lies ahead, and all you can hear are your own thoughts, often shouting at you to give up. Yet it's in that very place where the most genuine faith blossoms. Faith is not applause when the miracle arrives. It is deep conviction when the miracle seems far too delayed. That conviction doesn't come from a feeling, but from a decision that says, I don't understand a thing, but I will keep believing. I don't see the way out, but I will keep moving forward. I don't hear God's voice, but I know He is with me. Scripture shows us this principle over and over again. Look at Abraham. God asked him to leave his land, his home, his security, and walk into the unknown. He didn't give him a map or coordinates or details. He only said, go. And Abraham went, without seeing, without understanding, without knowing. That's why he was called the father of faith, because he obeyed even without having all the answers. This reminds us of something essential. The faith that honors God does not rely on what is visible, but on His promises. The visible shifts, fades, and disappears, but what God has spoken endures forever. That's why sometimes He allows you not to see anything, precisely so that your trust may be anchored in the one thing that never changes, His Word. In 2 Corinthians 5:7, it is written, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." That is the key. You don't move forward because you understand everything. You move forward because you believe that even if you don't see His hand, His heart is still guiding you. That is the kind of faith that weighs in heaven, the faith that God honors and rewards. Ask yourself sincerely, how many times have you felt frustrated or sad because things didn't happen the way you imagined? How many times did you think God had forgotten you just because you didn't see immediate results? Perhaps without realizing it, you conditioned your trust on the visible, the quick, the tangible. But that is not the essence of faith. Faith is trusting the process, even when the process seems to make no sense. God never promised to show you the entire path, but He did promise to walk with you through every step. He didn't say He would keep you from the fire, but He did promise to be with you in it. He didn't say you would avoid dark valleys, but He did promise that His rod and His staff would comfort you as you walk. And that certainty is what your heart must embrace today. Even if you don't see it, God is working. What looks empty right now is actually the ground where He is strengthening your character. Because if everything were clear from the start, you wouldn't learn patience or dependence or humility. But when you choose to keep believing, even without signs, you are growing in a way that is invisible yet powerful. So if today you feel like you're walking blindly, don't think you're failing. You're being trained in the deepest kind of faith, the faith that God honors in silence and rewards in the open. He sees your perseverance, and He will not leave it without fruit. I truly hope this message reaches your soul. May God bless you. Subscribe. And until next time.